Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Adeptus Ridiculous Podcast. My name is DK Diamantes, his name is Bricky, and his name is Kirioth, but we'll get into that in just a second. If you enjoy today's episode and maybe you want to support the podcast, head over to patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous, where you get access to the Discord, bloopers if they happen. $15 tier gets you access to all of our posters in crispy digital form. Right now, it is Such Is the Power poster. You'll know it when you see it. It's probably in the video right now. Patreon.com/Adeptus Ridiculous. Bricky, speak your truth.
It's me, my truth. I shall speak my truth. Obviously, we have finalized and done Flesh and Steel, and the next book for the book club is Void Exile, and we're going to be more on it this time, I promise, as I tie my hands behind my back, or cross my fingers, whatever.
Wow, I was going to say, what? This is just a book, dude.
Nightmarish.
Yeah.
Yeah, tee-hee. It's Carcharodons. It's okay. They're supposed to be like a little spooky. But also, check. So I would actually, normally I would say, hey, check out the merchandise. There's some cool merch going on. But I would actually suggest that you don't. We are going to be having a going away sale on a ton of items. And starting next week, including a tiered discount of all the way up to 20% off. So there's a lot of stuff and there's a lot of things going away. But that kind of launches next week. So next week, prepare yourselves and we'll have a really big sale. So tune in next week. And also we'll probably post on the socials and the Discord and stuff. But yeah, besides that, Kirioth, what are your thoughts on like God?
Oh dear Lord! What I was gonna ask a question about the merch. Did we ever sell the "Born in Time for Gathrim" T-shirt, or did that not get past the planning stage?
That's coming. That's coming. It's
is it really?
We're doing. Well, the plan is that we're gonna have a drop for like Q4. But we have so much stuff on the thing that we want to do like a last chance thing, and then we can do the thing I want to do for Q4.
That's amazing. Love it.
It made it on a poster.
It's so good. Oh, I will just say, Shai has put a message in here that I think is important to deliver to the people. I won't shout it even though it is in caps, because it'll blow the mic out. If you subscribe to the $15 tier, you get 70 fucking posters. Come on, it's value. It is. It's entirely true.
Damn,
that's a lot of posters.
I gotta be a hundo with you, Shai. I was kind of wondering if this was the case too, because I actually started the next book, and I felt like in the first 10 pages, I was like, what the f*** is going on? And Shai said, Bricky, people are asking, why are you reading the third book in the trilogy first?
What?
Apparently,
they
that's the third book. And I must say, I started reading it in like 15 pages, and I was like, "What? What is all that? Where? Who? What?"
I thought, okay, oh, God damn it! Because I looked and I checked online, and I was like, this appears to be like, hey, it clearly seems to be, like the same relations or whatever. But it says, because I was on Audible, and it was like,
it says nothing about it being part of the trilogy. Actually, does it?
It says Carcharodons Book 1, Carcharodons Book 2, and then Carcharodons Warhammer 40K, and I'm like, oh, this is clearly something else.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too.
Thing. God damn it! All right, well, okay, screw it. Void Exile, Vastor can wait. We're doing Red Tithe first.
Okay. Sweet.
Joke's on you, idiots. This was the plan the whole time. Red Tithe stars Night Lords.
Oh, fair. Cool. Let's do it. We'll get through the trilogy, right? We can get to Vastor soon. Anyway, on brand as usual.
How much plot could there be? That's going to make people annoyed.
Those Carcharodon fans are rabid. I cannot wait to read the Carcharodons books and then immediately sit there and be like, God damn, my Carcharodons episode sucked. And then, because now I have all this new context and then having to redo it.
Yep. Also, on brand for us, we have gone a little off the rails very early. So, Kirioth, I'm sure you are just chomping at the bit to spoon feed us just the most interesting lore ever. I say lore because I don't know if it's Warhammer. I don't know if maybe you're doing Trench Crusade again. I don't know if you're doing Helldivers. It could be anything. Kirioth, how are we today?
I'm doing good. It's hard to chomp at the bit and try and spoon feed someone, but I'm going to do my best. Also chomping, very shark-like, very appropriate. I've got 2 quotes for you. I've got 2 in order. Now, if you get it after the first one, I'll be impressed. If you don't get even close to it after the second one, I don't have to threaten anything. I think Shy will apparate next to you and stab you. So, no pressure.
Me looking up what apparate means.
Just like appear.
Right. To magically teleport from one place to another, making a person or object suddenly appear at the destination and disappear from their original Oh, so she's going to do the you're already dead thing. God.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yep.
We know she's capable, she just hasn't bothered yet, because it's a lot of effort, but I'm pretty sure it can be done.
Yeah.
So, quote number 1. Our Primarch is a newborn creature of the warp. He needs no protection that legionaries can offer. Rather, I am sanctified in the colours that are said to most please our new god, but I will not lose myself.
Lorgar?
One more time?
I mean, it's chaos related, but that's pretty clear. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah. It's just it's more a question of which chaos Primarch
I can
faction.
help. I can help with the second quote if you'd like.
Wait.
Can I hear the first one
hold
more
on.
time?
Yeah.
Okay. Our Primarch is a newborn creature of the warp. He needs no protection that legionaries can offer. Rather, I am sanctified in the colours that are said to most please our new god, but I will not lose myself.
Sanctified in the colors that most please our new god, but I will not lose myself.
That
Yeah, I mean it's I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to assume it is an overarching concept of the traitor Primarchs turning into demon Primarchs. That's my overarching guess.
Ooh. I was thinking like I don't know if I'm taking this too literal because it's like, oh yeah, our Primarch and we're in the colors that he loves most. Immediately I thought of like Angron and just like blood for the blood god. And they're like draped in red because they're just covered in blood.
DK,
So
you are so close to this. The next quote was kill, maim, burn. Kill, maim, burn. So you are very, very close. It's not Angron, but it is someone close to Angron.
Is it Kharn?
Yes, nailed it.
Oh,
Nailed it, huh?
Yep. I had to get it in early. You've got to get it in early.
I did all the heavy lifting. I want partial credit.
That was I mean that was some good working out there, DK. I am legitimately proud of you.
Let's go.
I mean, speaking of working out, goddamn.
Oh yeah, Kharn just had that unarmored arm.
Absolutely
Damn.
hench. I mean, look at the size of the axe. It's the same size as him. He's got to have a bit of muscle going, or he's going to be in real trouble swinging that thing around.
I don't know why that wasn't the first thing I noticed in that picture of like, wow, that axe is literally as big as him.
I never really looked at it. I never really looked at it, and like, it's stupid to even say this, but I never really truly realized how impractical that helmet is. It is so tall.
But it's so cool.
No, I don't give a... Listen, it's the World Eaters. I don't give a shit about practicality. Mm-hmm. I could care less. But I never realized, like, it's like 5 heads lengths. It's so big. And I'm just imagining him trying to get through doors. Granted, he probably just, like, runs into the doors. like juggernauts them. But I'm like, damn, that's a big helmet. And the helmet's yelling.
It's such a good look. But you have to think, when that helmet was first adopted, there will have been a lot of, like, Stormtrooper-esque banging your head on the bulwark and then getting annoyed about it. Like, it's got to have happened quite a few times. But the trade-off is, you look like a lunatic, which is exactly what you want. So, I think worth it, honestly. I think it's worth it.
You think the Thousand Sons had the same problem?
Maybe even worse. I'm pretty sure theirs are taller, even than the World Eater ones. I've not measured them personally, but they look... I think because also it's usually one big thing sticking out. They've got more girth than the World Eaters ones. So that feels like it makes a difference. That is a terrible sentence. Look, it's a dedicated Kharn episode. So today we're going to go over the very reasonable and level-headed Khârn the Betrayer. At least in his eyes, he's reasonable. To pretty much everyone else in the galaxy, he is the physical embodiment of rage and death. He's feared not only by his enemies, but also his allies, and even the Dark Gods themselves generally don't like summoning Khârn, because even though he will bring in a high kill count, that kill count is likely to include a fair amount from all sides involved. So we're going to go over Khârn from his early history to the Siege of Terra and his eventual destined transformation into the Betrayer. And again, all artwork of Khârn is solid. I don't know why, but it feels like they go hard every time.
I was going to say, I haven't seen... Oh, go ahead.
I was saying they're not given restraint. Like, why would they? You know, it's like, oh, this is Khârn. All right, go nuts.
Yeah, we need art of a power-armored murderer. Do what you like. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the story of Khârn, much like most of the named Warriors of Chaos, starts quite a long time ago. Khârn was born on Terra and was inducted into the pre-World Eaters, known as the Warhounds. Him and the rest of the earliest neophytes were brought to the world of Bod for training, and his training was conducted by Centurion Gruner. And even before the return of Angron, Gruner's ruthlessness established a baseline of strength through brutality within the Legion, and these lessons were fundamental to the moulding of Khârn. Khârn rose through the ranks and became the captain of the Warhounds' 8th Assault Company. I do feel like the name Warhounds, it's pretty good for a Legion, but it's definitely not as front-loaded as World Eaters. There's no ambiguity for World Eaters. Mm-hmm. Warhounds, a little bit, and yes, of the 8th Company is a lovely detail. I like that a lot.
And you have plenty of canine-based chapters anyway. Do you really need a Warhounds and Luna Wolves
and
a Space Wolves and
chill out
who knows how many other sub chapters are named wolf things? It's okay, fine. Word Bears goes way harder for sure.
Also, World Eaters, especially.
World Eaters, yeah.
Yeah, I must say those are the wrong folks, but they were friends, I guess.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Friends, the greatest bromance in literature history. What are you talking about?
I don't know why I always mentally flip-flop those names every time.
Probably because the two books that we read are the ones that have the Word Bearers and the World Eaters. And then me with a novel in my mouth. Ah, yes, the Word Eaters. But I mean, the Warhounds, that whole thing, kind of the Space Wolves are half the reason why they're no longer the Warhounds anymore, because hounds are dogs obey, and they don't do that. We'll get there. We'll get to the Night of the Wolf, I'm sure.
I remember that. Yeah.
It is, in retrospect, the least appropriate name for that legion. It might have been at the time when they first started out, but history said no. So, eventually, Angron gets found by the Emperor. After he's hastily transported onto the Warhound ship, of course, the Legion were really happy, really proud. They finally get to meet their father. But for some reason, Dad wasn't happy and stormed off to his room.
Stormed off to his room? You mean after he,
watched everything he knew?
3 custodians with his bare hands or whatever he did?
Oh, I was going to say, I imagine he'd be pretty pissed after watching everything he knew and loved die on the planet, which he was like, oh yeah, don't worry guys, I'll totally die with you. This is my resting place. And then, what? I imagine he'd be a little annoyed.
It's not the best introduction that Big E could have given him. It's there's a few things there that perhaps could have been done better. It's only moments like this that cause me to, like in last week's episode, say things like the Emperor, who's an idiot. It's only because he does silly things sometimes. We love him, but judgment calls, in some cases, he just didn't make the right decisions, you know?
We love him. Speak for yourself.
I was about to say, we is a little strong.
I was going to say, I think he's a carrion emperor. He can burn for all I care.
His actions have led to Lorgar's work being proliferated across the galaxy. Therefore, we have to like him. Because the best son won. Thanks to his actions.
See, there's a constant thing where it's like, well, unfortunately, you know, maybe the Emperor wasn't supposed to be an idiot. Unfortunately, he was written by like 12 different authors, and in some of those books, he's an idiot. And unfortunately, those books are canon. So unfortunately, he's an idiot.
There's a fair bit of that. That's a good little DK. Read the thing.
Oh, so Shai posted this little X. I don't know where it's from, but father is not always right, said the Khan evenly. Spoken as you were meant to speak, said Malkador. Perhaps, said the Khan, but perhaps also he should have looked beyond his intended use for us and should have trusted us. He is a distant father.
It's very true.
That's Big E in a nutshell.
I will say, and I feel like this is something that I'm slowly kind of turning this way, and Luton kind of put me onto this. I'm starting to think that Big E is not that smart. I mean, he is smart, like obviously, technically, but I feel like I'm starting to think Malkador is the guy. I am beginning to get the feeling from the other stuff that I've read that Malkador is actually the main person behind all the scenes, and Big E is like his puppet. Or was, and now Malkador's gone, so now the puppet master's gone, and so it's like, oh, crap. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting this feeling that Mr. Malky might have been a bit more.
For me, it kind of
feels
feels
the
like
brains, Biggie's the brawn. He's just sort of the figurehead that's just there to like appease the masses, while Malkador's really doing all the heavy lifting and planning and scheming behind the scenes, and just.
I wouldn't go that far, but like it's weird. The amount of like Malkador-based things of Malkador talking about how like I found the Emperor, like I found him, I helped raise him or whatever, like I brought him up, like I'm the real whatever. And you can never tell because Malkador is very unreliable of a narrator because he's Malkador. But I don't know, it's a toughie. This is a whole other conversation to be had here. This is a long
True. This is a whole different episode, right?
This could be
nothing to do with Kharn
in and of itself.
Yeah, but you see, this is a Kharn episode, so we need to shit talk the Emperor. That's like required.
It's
Hell yeah, brother.
So yeah, Angron gets discovered. He gets taken away from a final battle with all of his friends. He's not happy about it, and in the process of being distinctly unhappy, which is fully justified, he kills a couple of custodies, it's fine, and quite a few of the captains of the Warhounds in the process. And if you're wondering, like, well, why didn't anyone fight back? Big E specifically said, do not raise your hands against Angron. Don't do anything to Angron when he shows up. So after Angron has slapped around his own captains, killing a good chunk of them, he stormed off, refused to acknowledge his sons, and morale went through the floor. Understandably, because the Warhounds have been searching for their Primarch, for their father. They find him, and he wants absolutely nothing to do with them. And as a result, they didn't really know what to do. Kharn, however, felt a deep connection to his Primarch, despite only seeing him for just a moment. So he took it upon himself to see if he could talk some sense into Angron. He walked off, unarmed, by the way, boss move, found his dad, and had a really nice and calm chat. The intro to which, Bricky, if you could do the honours here.
Of course. He exhaled and took another step into the room. For a moment, he thought he could hear movement, the padding of feet, a rush of air that felt like breath before everything splintered and whirled, and he crashed into a pillar wall to land hard on his back, gasping in pain. It's like, hey, Dad, do you have the milk? And then he just gets decked in the head.
Also, I thought it was funny. There's like, oh yeah, Biggie had to tell everyone not to attack. Really, Angron, who just crushed like 3 custodies. It's like, no, don't worry, Biggie, you got it, buddy. I'm not gonna swing at that guy.
Yeah.
Don't worry. No, trust me, I got this. Don't worry.
Having seen that, I don't really feel compelled to try and defend myself. I might just try running instead, to be fair.
I wasn't thinking of doing it, but thanks for the reminder, Biggie.
Yeah.
POV, your POV, your Kharn about to talk to your dad.
Yeah.
Well, funnily enough, Angron was not having any of this mild-mannered approach, and he just proceeds to throw Kharn around the room, screaming at him to fight back, and Kharn refuses to do so. What followed was an absolute spanking that nearly killed Kharn, but at no point did he actually push back. Eventually, Angron asked Kharn a simple question, which was why? Because Angron could tell that Kharn was built for war and built for bloodlust, but he couldn't understand why he wasn't fighting back. Kharn said he was proud of his legion and his brothers, which prompted Angron to kick him across the room and start taking the piss, saying that it was not prideful to watch the captains die, and that Kharn didn't know what brotherhood was, or what battles truly were. At which point, he started beating him to death again, until Kharn laid it out as clear as he could. He and no other member of the Legion would raise a hand to him because he was their blood, their fountainhead, and their leader that needed to take a rightful place at the front of the Legion. Kharn said he envied those who'd fought alongside him before he was found, and that his only hope in life was that he had a chance to fight with him in a similar manner, which calmed Angron just enough for him to actually speak with Kharn, and they actually had a bit of a heart-to-heart. Angron lamented about the death of those he cared for at the hands of the Emperor, and Kharn was able to tell him about his battles and the interactions with Angron's brothers. The stability didn't last long, obviously, and Angron eventually snapped again, kicking Kharn in the chest across the room and demanding that he fight back. But Kharn said one last thing that stopped Angron entirely. DK.
You are my Primarch and my General, Lord Angron. I swore that I would seek you out and follow you, and I will not fight you, and if I must die, then yours is the hand I will die by. I am Kharn, and I am loyal to your will. Damn.
Heartwarming.
All while getting the shit kicked out of you, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Getting absolutely beaten to death, pretty much. Angron mulled this over, and not only partially accepted the Warhounds, only partially, but he did accept them, which he called his World Eaters, but Kharn then got the mantle of Angron's Equerry, a job that, as you can imagine, absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What is an equerry? We're now 0 for 2 on words today.
It's essentially like a kind of, I'd say assistant, but it's deeper than that.
Like a seneschal, like Abelard, my king.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Okay, that's sick. Cool with that.
I assumed he was just sort of like the go-between, so that like your normal everyday soldier or space marine wouldn't have to go up to Angron and get absolutely massacred. But it's like, Kharn, we have something we need to tell Angron, but we don't want to die. You seem to have survived your meeting. Could you ask him about the air conditioning settings and stuff like that? I assume.
Me taking a Xanax and like an Oxycontin because I gotta go tell my dad that I crashed the car.
Something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. There were some cultural differences between Angron and the World Eaters, and the chief one among them was the fact that Angron didn't really respect them because they didn't have the butcher's nails. I mean, to be fair, they didn't have the butcher's nails because the implementation of them would likely kill them. But this was an issue for Angron. And due to the... Oh my god. I've read this line like 4 times today in the hope that I will get through it without laughing, but it probably won't happen.
I mean, I can read it if you like.
You know what? You do this bit, because it's got me every time. Possum knows my level now, and is specifically targeting me in ways that I never anticipated.
Due to the lack of nails in his household, Angron stepped out to the hardware store one day and didn't come back. Literally, he hijacked a ship and peaced out from his legion for 2 years, but Kharn was unrelenting in finding his Primarch. I forgot he did that. He just left. That's right.
Yeah.
Doesn't he go like sulk on some kind of I was gonna say Midsummer. That's not what it's called. Some kind of Mustafar fucking place.
Yeah, and Kharn has to go like kind of verbally bitch slap him back into like being the Primarch and being Angron and being like, hey, this isn't the way our Primarch works. Come on, stop being such a pansy. Like, what are you doing, man? And kind of has to like whip him back into shape.
Yeah, something along those lines. That's funky.
Yeah, I mean, it was a case of Kharn finding him on a feral world, and Angron was in a bit of a feral state, and he'd hoped that his brothers would find him and kill him, which is, I mean, even for 40k standards, pretty dark. He was not happy that Kharn found him first, and Kharn essentially just demanded that he return to the Legion, stop messing around. But he did offer a bit of a bargain. He said the wrong thing in the process of trying to convince Angron. He told Angron that he and the World Eaters would do anything to have Angron come back to the Legion. And obviously for Angron, anything meant busting out the butcher's nails for a bunch of fatal procedures. However, Kharn he's got some worth. He's pretty solid. He made it through the process, and it wasn't pretty because the result was him ripping people limb from limb as he came to from the operation, and he essentially woke up completely covered in blood. And as he finally regained control of himself, Angron approaches him and calls him his son. What a terrible parent-child dynamic. Absolutely horrendous.
You have absolutely permanently maimed yourself to feel nothing but agony unless when you're mad.
I'm proud of you.
I finally accept you.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yuck.
Ugh. Horrible. What followed is best summed up as a bloodbath. Like, it's a tactical one, but it's still a bloodbath. Obviously, Angron is a loose cannon due to the nails. Kharn, still not the most stable of folks, but Kharn was essential when it came to breaking through and communicating with Angron. And to his credit, pre-heresy Kharn was very level-headed, and his ability to communicate with Angron in an interpersonal and tactical manner was extremely needed. It was revered, even. But just because he was level-headed by World Eater standards doesn't mean he was, by any means, chill. In addition to the nails implementation, he also went through extensive surgery and treatments to heighten his desire for aggression. He even got a little gift from Horus, which was a kill count tracker installed directly into his helmet. Which...
Wow, really?
Why does that even exist? Why is that a thing that you need?
That's hey, I mean, that sounds like something he would really like, though. Also, yeah, pre-heresy Kharn looks dope, Shy. Wow.
That's great. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's a cool dude.
His brutality was well known by this point, even by those who didn't know him directly. And there's a lovely little quote by Nathaniel Garrow, one of the best boys, who had a terrible time.
Oh, who's doing this one?
No, this is you, man. I did the last one.
Oh, this is me. Okay. A cadre of his, Angron's, chosen men were at his side, led by an Astartes that Garrow knew by reputation alone. Kharn, master of the Eighth Company. Unlike Eidolon, who was known for braggadocio, what? Kharn's name was synonymous with brutality in battle. There were rumors of slaughters Kharn had caused that even the most ruthless of the Death Guard found difficult to stomach.
Pretty good.
I mean, I'm assuming it's like the phrase braggadocious, where you're very like big on bragging.
Yeah.
I
never
heard
heard
that
that phrase. Dude, we gotta stop using these hard words today, man. I'm not smart enough for this. It's too many.
So like the other word, I just assumed context from that, and the base word being like kind of braggadocio, that it was something like that. So I kind of just went with it. But I've never heard someone use the term braggadocio.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm right there with you. Like I'd read that word before, but you don't see it often. It's a rare one. Yeah. It doesn't come up a lot. Regardless of Kharn's brutality, though, he did have close ties with quite a few Space Marines, including the innocent, beautiful boy Garviel Loken and Sigismund. But sometimes friendships come to an end, and a great place for friendships to end is Istvaan III.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, you know.
Oh, that is so true, Shy. It's very fitting that I don't understand the words in the World Eater episode. I'm just like,
you need to get some more of those books to eat, Brick.
Yeah, my word eating needs to get to you. Or, I mean, I prefer my world bearing, but that one's a little different.
Oh, no.
Oh, another t-shirt idea. Come to Istvaan where friendships end.
Yeah, new tourism advertisement there. Yeah.
There's a whole like...
Kill your friends.
Put that on a sticker and throw it up in the shop, brother.
There's like a
survived Istvaan III, and all I got.
All I got was this stupid t-shirt.
Yeah, I survived.
There needs to be a whole like sub-merch category for just tourism quotes of Gath Rimmon. I survived Istvaan III. Like all of this stuff. Just
like
it's all just
stupid
white
keychain. Yeah, stupid sticker. Yeah.
If it's clothing, it's just block white text on a black t-shirt and nothing else. Like that's all.
Comic Sans text. Yeah.
Comic Sans. Come to Istvaan III where friendships end. That is perfect merchandise.
Classic.
So, the purging of loyalists on Istvaan was, of course, not the best way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Though we don't see the initial corruption of Kharn, we know his battlefield tact, and it's pretty clear that Khorne held the door open for him. We do, however, see the end result of a corrupted Kharn during a conflict with his old friend Loken. And by conflict, we of course mean Kharn started to get all murdery, and Loken was like, bruh, Jesus Christ, possum. Loken, not happy, wanted an explanation from Kharn because he could not recognise him by his actions. Kharn stopped for one moment and told him that he was the eightfold path, and that there was no way off the path, and that we must always go further. In that moment, Loken knew that this would only end one way, death. Loken obviously fought for his life, first with weapons and then with fists, but he did have somewhat of an ace up his sleeve because a land raider impaled Kharn, which is one of my favourite moments from those books, simply because it's a bit random in a way. It's like, oh, it's a fight to the death. Oh, it's going really badly. Oh, wow, he got impaled by a land raider. What the hell happened there? It's roller coaster of emotions.
That feels like such a World Eater thing, though. It's just like I'm imagining their version of like the and then like the Land Raider just slams into him going at full speed. It just sounds like a World Eater thing to do. And then like a different World Eater jumps out of the top and it's just like, okay, I have your back.
He's just hanging off it like a stuffed animal on a garbage truck, just dangling there.
Yeah.
Fortunately, well, for him, unfortunately for literally everybody else, Kharn was saved by his old pal Apothecary Kargos, and he was back in action after a little while. One of the earlier conflicts we see involving Kharn had to do with the aftermath of the Scouring of Prospero. Obviously, the Scouring itself was the Space Wolves' attack against the homeworld of the Thousand Suns due to Magnus' inability to stop with all the Psyker stuff. The World Eaters, though, had made their way into the ruins of Prospero to seek out an item known as the Moon Wolf. It's wolves all the way down. The Moon Wolf was a piece of Horus's power armor that Magnus used to contact his spirit during his inevitable fall to chaos. At the same time...
Oh, that's how he did it.
A little bit of classic focus. You've got to have something to focus in on.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say like a tracking dog being given a bit of clothing to track someone down, but that seems really dark, but I don't know why. Could just be chasing a murderer. It's fine. Anyway, there was also... that doesn't make it better. Thousand Sons captain Menez Caliston, who was also in the ruins of Prospero, gets jumped by the World Eaters, and Kharn himself interrogates him for information on the location of the Moonwolf. However, Caliston is able to see into Kharn's soul and sees a dual reason for him being there. Though they did legitimately seek the Moonwolf, Kharn also sought out Prospero to find ancient arcane tech to free him from his pain and to ease the terror of his constant, pulsing agony that could only be numbed with murder. Caliston obviously tries to reason with Kharn and says that despite the devices being lost, that he had an innate psychic ability to ease the pain, and for a moment it felt like he was able to speak to a former fragment of Kharn's self, but Kharn then snapped out of it, calling him a witch and beating him to death, because of course he did.
See,
Right.
God damn it. It's like, hey, knock that off. I don't know, man.
Please
it's just
stop.
like it's so difficult because like, you know the World Eaters and you think about the World Eaters when you play World Eaters or when you learn about World Eaters and you're like, damn, these are like actual frothing maniacs. And then you learn about their past and you're like, oh man, this is actually kind of sad. Like, they have a clear like fall from grace. Like it's kind of sad seeing how they were before they were like hardcore Khorne corrupted World Eaters and etc. And but then you like read things like this and you're just like, no, stop it, witch, and then beats him to death. And then like I'm like, World Eaters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Warhammer bell curve is such a real thing.
Too true.
Really is.
Too true.
Yeah, it's like, damn, these World Eaters are lunatics. No, they're so misunderstood. Like, nah, these World Eaters are
they're
lunatics.
lunatics. Yep.
Well, if you wanna feel even more sad, in his final moments, Caliston knew that turning down his offer would haunt Kharn deep down for the rest of his life. He envisioned Kharn's future, seeing a completely uncontainable force of rage that can never have a master because he cannot even master it himself. And he was absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Horrible. just horrible. From there, the most significant pre-siege conflict Kharn found himself in was the Shadow Crusade, which was deeply covered in Betrayer, which... My favourite part was when Kharn walked in the room and says it's betraying time and betrayed all over Erebus.
He did say those exact words.
It's
Word for
true.
word. That's a quote. Yeah.
Yeah, direct. Yeah, actually, Shy, I think you're spot on with that in a way. Huge metaphor for abusive relationship with parents. Wow, that's dark. Oh, never mind. He just beat someone to death with their own arm.
Never mind. This is sick.
Dope.
So, we've got Kharn's final return to Terra as well to talk about. The Siege of Terra, absolute playground for Kharn. He's full-on berserker mode, absolutely full of beans, and a full-fledged attack on his former home.
You're doing this on purpose now. You're specifically. I don't think you say this beans thing normally. I feel like this is specifically for me to hurt me.
It's in the script, Ricky. You got to say it. It's in the script.
That one wasn't in the script. I added that. I didn't really think about it because I do say it fairly often, which now I'm thinking I probably shouldn't.
Just full of beans. I don't know, man.
It's a legitimate phrase where I'm from.
Legitimate. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's legit. I say it all the time too. It's Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that, but I appreciate.
It's kind of full of beans right now, Bricky, is what I think.
It just like you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of this one meme I've seen all the time. The December festive one. I know this is a Reddit link, I'm sorry, but it's the first one that came up. It's festive, confused, full of cheese, unsure of the day of the week. Like it just makes me think of that.
Yeah.
I've never seen that one, but all right. Okay, sure.
I love that. It's just so accurate. Okay, beans aside, Kharn is a lunatic, and we know this. There's been an attack on his former homeworld, and he's got a bit of bloodlust going on. And if Angron gets his way, he and the World Eaters will be the first to land on Terra to begin the siege. There is one problem, though. Horus had already made a vow to Mortarion that the Death Guard will be the first ones to make landfall, and the others will have to wait. As you can guess, Angron handled this pretty poorly. He goes on a full-fledged rampage through the Conqueror, deck by deck, blindly destroying everything in his path. And as he gets lower in the ship, it becomes very clear that his rage could result in him in, angrily destroying the reactor and causing a ship-wide detonation that could wreck all the other ships in orbit.
I remember this.
Wow.
I remember this, and I'm pretty sure Latara is like, God damn it, get it out of here. And they just throw him onto the planet, right?
Well,
Really?
I feel so bad for Latara Saren. She's such a good character, but she's constantly having to put up with Angron being a monstrous lunatic in her presence. And then all the rest of the Legion are like, yeah, we're going to emulate that. And it's like, oh my god, you've got so much to deal with. You've got the patience of a saint, even though you are definitively, not great yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get the feeling it has the same energy of, the abusive dad, and yet the mom is, worse. Latara is Latara is a great character, but she is objectively a horrid warmonger.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Most Space Marines and their stuff are, but it's just funny for her to be like, God damn it, you can beat the kids. You can beat the kids, but you wrecked my Bugatti.
Don't dent the house, Jesus.
Don't shove them through the wall. We'll have to get that repaired. What is your problem?
Go outside and do that.
Well, Latara Saren has to go up to Kharn, who was also not having a good time, because he also wanted to be first on the planet, and kind of explain the situation. After a bit of back and forth, they made contact with Gendor Scrivok of the Night Lords. Sure.
Whatever.
That's how you pronounce that. That's fine. I'm sure it's close enough.
Oh yeah, I would have gone Gendor Scrivok too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite Night Lord's character, Grendel. Lovely. Grundle Scrivok.
Grundle Scrivok. So they get in contact with Grundle Scrivok of the Night Lords, which even then they don't want to do it because the Night Lords and the World Eaters don't really like each other, and they have a plan to throw Angron into one of the labyrinths in the Nightfall for the time being, and then to just drop him onto Terra when they're ready. The only catch is that they needed someone to lure him into the trap, and, Kharn can talk with Dad better than anyone else. So Kharn gets to go into the lower decks of the ship and get Angron's attention, and without even seeing him, he senses Angron. And Angron just says, Lord Khorne demands blood and skulls, and asked whether Kharn could hear those cries too. And here we go. Here's a lovely, not at all alarming quote.
All right. This is me now. All right. Kharn felt a stir of unease. He heard the whispers. The words remained elusive, but the furious insistence that murder be done and blood spill was clear enough. He feared hearing what the words would say. He knew that enlightenment would come in time. I do not hear him, my lord, said Kharn. You will. He values you, my son. Heavy footsteps thumped deep in the stacks. Knocked chains jangled. These slaves are unworthy of offerings for the blood god. But you, Kharn, your skull will make a fine gift.
Oh boy. Hearing that from Angron is not exactly the final words you want.
It's not great, is
Oh,
it?
man.
It's not great. Also, I love the acknowledgement there. He values you. I'm going to kill you anyway.
Yeah.
I like the idea that Khorne probably is like, no, hey, whoa. I mean, I know Khorne does not care from where the blood flows, but I do get a feeling that Khorne cares a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like if Khorne saw this, he'd be like, hey, well, he brings in a lot of skulls. I don't want him dead just yet. So
I may be evil.
Maim him
this,
a bit. Don't kill
he's
him.
An
Just maim
essential
him a bit.
worker, man.
Yeah, he's an essential
worker.
cog in the wheel. Come on, have you seen his return rates this quarter? Come on.
Yeah. This is like the evil tech CEO, and Kharn is the developer who made their baseline code, and he's just like, he's a shithead, but like we gotta keep him. We got everything runs off of what he knows. We gotta up his salary. I don't care. We can't lose Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop.
What an analogy!
Jeff to death. He's necessary.
Yeah. This is the Angron's the COO. And he's like, you gotta stop it, man. You gotta stop beating Jeff to death.
Poor Jeff.
Kill the intern.
pour one out for Jeff. So, Angron and Kharn, they engage in a heated battle. The entire time, Angron is goading him, calling him a failure and an embarrassment. But, unlike the earlier conflicts, Kharn actually fought back. Although, it's obviously very clear, Kharn is not a match for Angron. But, Angron was too blinded by rage to notice what Kharn had up his sleeve. A plasma pistol and a teleport homer. So before a final blow could be struck, Kharn shot Angron in the face with the plasma pistol and attached the teleport homer to him, forcing him to be teleported off to the Nightfall to await deployment. Which I just love that the distraction technique for attaching a teleport homer is shooting someone in the face with a plasma pistol.
With the heat of the sun.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to have seen Angron's reaction to it. Probably was like, just, fly bit me in the nose. Suddenly he's in the Nightfall.
Yeah, it's like a stasis chamber or something in the Nightfall? What was it again?
A labyrinth. You got to put him on the horrible labyrinths that Khârn's built.
Oh, yes, of course. How could it? Right, he got put in like the place that he tortured Vulcan for forever or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. The more I hear about Khârn, the more I'm starting to think he was a bit of a wrong-un.
Yeah?
Just, yeah.
Oh,
just the odd
just dawning on you now? This is new revelation?
I'm getting this weird like reverse pull situation where because the Night Lords have become like a little bit more of a popular faction, people are learning about them. I think some people are getting a little too like, yeah, Night Lords, they really were betrayed for this situation. And I kind of have to step in and be like, no, they suck, man.
Yeah.
They're evil. They deserve what they got.
They were pretty categorically awful from like day one. You don't need to be like, no, they're fine.
No,
they just went down the wrong path. No.
This is being too Talos pilled. Sorry, Talos is also terrible. He's just like neat. So you gotta. What is this shot? Wait, no. This is actually perfect. This is exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for.
No.
Apologies for the foul language I'm about to say, but I have to read it. When you think about it, there really are no good guys and bad guys in the 40K universe. Everyone is just as bad as each other. Said by Brother Rape Strangle of the Orphan Slayers Legion.
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I see that sometimes. And I'm like, guys, come on. I'm the biggest Night Lord simp, and like, no,
no.
knock it off.
Not really with the Night Lords. When Big E has to expressly be like, guys, the torture, like you gotta calm it down. Like it's too much. I'm Big E, damn it. Like
I love the idea of it being like, okay, we'll try and cut down on the torture, but can we still display video of the torture onto our armor when we're attacking people? It's like, guys, come on.
Yeah,
please.
Sure,
Yeah, but Big E's also a shithead because he did tell them to be the torturers. So, like, you know,
That's true.
See, now I'm going back the other direction. See, that you got to find the right in between here. You know, you got to find the right in between. Anyway, all that
It's a
being
subtle
aside,
dance.
Kurz was to use some phrasing
visionary.
here, a bit of a nutter and and full of beans.
Full of beans, brother. Hell yeah.
100% of the time.
Wait,
So-
December 1st through 26th, festive. December 27th, on the nightfall, full of beans, unsure of the day of the week.
Oh, Angron.
Oh, I look forward to that poster. That's going to be a great one. Eventually, all of the traitors, they finally get a chance to show up planetside on Terra, and Kharn would find himself involved in an incredible amount of conflict on the planet. So much so that his name had become almost entirely synonymous with the concept of oncoming death. He had almost gone feral at this point, tearing his way through line after line to get closer and closer to the inner palace. Eventually, he encountered his old friend Sigismund, and... Wait, is it Sigismund or Sigismund? I've never heard it said out loud.
I've always
right?
heard it as Sigismund, like a goo.
Okay, I will adjust. So, he encountered his old friend Sigismund, and a brutal duel ensued. Of course, Sigismund, a lot more tact, and a very skilled swordsman, but unfortunately for him, he brought a butter knife to a tank fight, and the sheer might and blind rage of Kharn was almost too much to handle. Fortunately, the man with the best moustache in 40k, Rogel Dawn, showed up, presumably after a bathroom break, and hit Kharn so hard with Storm's Teeth that Kharn was thrown 12 meters through the air and was put out of commission. But you can't keep a good lad down, now can you? Kharn found himself back in action, making his way through the palace, leaving unspeakable violence in his wake. He also left unmemorable violence in his wake, as he manages to kill the commander of the Sisters of Silence, Janisha Kroll, and doesn't even remember it happening. Which is honestly personally upsetting, because Janisha Kroll has got such a cool model.
Also,
And-
Janisha Kroll is like a really interesting character. She's the leader of the Sisters of Silence.
Genuinely cool.
She actually plays a pretty good role in like a lot of the pre-heresy stuff too. Like,
And she just gets steamrolled by Kharn?
Well, I
she
mean,
gets...
her getting steamrolled by Kharn is not like entirely. Doesn't sound like out of character. I think it's the lackadaisical way that it happens that's a little bit upsetting.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm going to put a quote in here. So this is exactly how it's portrayed, shifting from a first person perspective of the sister to a third person of Kharn. So it's so rough.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, take it away.
I see Kharn coming. Kharn, first captain. He is a true giant. My null curse does not even slow him down or give him pause. I raise my sword, veracity. I speak in Kharn's language. A flicker. Kharn noticed the long number... Oh, hang on. A flicker. Kharn noticed the long number of his tally count had suddenly risen by 1. A moment of confusion. He did not remember making another kill. He did not see anything, but his axe is spitting blood. The rage makes everything a blur. The number did not matter. It never had. The flicker of confusion passed as the nails bit and the fury deepened. He moved on. Oh man, that sucks for her.
That's harsh.
I do wonder if that was because of the null field. You know, like he just doesn't remember it because of, you know, like she says it doesn't seem like it has an effect on him, but I can see, you know, I can see the idea of him just like not remembering it because of the null field in a way.
But that somehow makes it even worse, where it's like this thing that she was born with that was a massive boon in terms of obtaining her position, of being what she was, then just means that the person who killed her, a significant and important character, didn't even know it happened. No
It's
idea.
weird.
Just, it's gone up by 1. I don't care. It's so harsh. Which, obviously, peak 40k, you know, no lives matter. But, like, Oh god, it's so grim.
Yeah, it's weird because on one hand it's like not very satisfying, but it also is completely like in character in a way.
It's grim dark,
it's weird.
right?
Yeah.
It would be great to have a heroic duel where finally she succumbs to the kind of overwhelming strength of a Chaos Space Marine who is being directly powered by Khorne through bloodshed. But you don't get that. You don't even get that. You just get killed in an offhand manner by someone who's so angry they don't even know you're there to begin with. That's way worse, and as such, it's way more Warhammer.
It's bizarre because I feel like it's a kind of a shitty ending for Janicia Kroll, who deserves better, but it's a very accurate ending for Kharn. In a sense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what's the quote from Game of Thrones? Like, what was it? If you were expecting a happy ending, you weren't paying attention. And it kind of has that vibe of like 40K is like, you're probably not getting your happy ending. It's just gonna be bloodshed, torment, loss, tragedy, awful, bleh.
Yeah, and like even the biggest heroes or the best and brightest can just get absolutely destroyed. Like again, one of the things that's really fun about the Word Bearers Omnibus is there being a champion of the White Consuls, was it? But he's the chapter champion. He's so skilled. He's so good in close combat. He's an absolute legend. And then he comes up against a Dark Apostle who just dismantles him without using a weapon. Just kills him. Just absolutely destroys him. And he's the best of the chapter, and he just gets wiped out. And it's like, oh my god, it's so harsh. This guy was an actual, like, in the annals of the chapter, a hero. And then some guy just shows up and is like, nah, and just ruins him. It's underwhelming, but in a way that's perfect for the setting it's in.
Yep.
So, eventually, through his journey inward in the palace, Kharn does meet his match. Sigismund, again. But this time, the Black Sword was ready. The two engaged in combat, but Sigismund did not say a word, which was infuriating for Kharn. It seemed that Kharn's drawing to Sigismund both the first time and the second time was a subconscious quest to relive the days of them sparring and fighting together. They would, in the past, talk and laugh all the time, but now the Sigismund he faced was silent and cold. Kharn screamed at him to be angry and to be alive, but Sigismund resisted it, silently parrying and fighting back. The attrition of this battle wore Kharn down to the bone, despite being yoked up on cornflakes, and Kharn ended up getting weak and winded, and as he became less precise, he saw the crumbling walls of Terra around him and the impact of the multi-year war against the Imperium, and for a brief moment, he felt that the cycle of battle had been completed. His final exhausted words to Sigismund was him panting, "I am not as damaged as you." And he didn't even see the killing strike. Kharn was killed on the world that he was born on.
But
Damn.
But
the end.
The end. He's gone. He's dead, never to return. Oh wait. To be fair, he was actually dead. Like, as far as anyone was concerned, he was gone, and his body was taken onto the flagship of the 9th Company by Captain Draeger and placed on a bed that became something of a shrine. But the World Eaters have a problem. They are scattered due to the events of the siege, and they're without a leader. The scattering, of course, turns into infighting. The infighting turns into almost civil war. There are many that believe that Kharn returning would bring unity back to the Legion, but others are not so sure. Eventually, a splintered group of World Eaters decide that the only way to continue forward was to remove the past, and the best way to do this was to break into the shrine for Kharn and kill him, as this would level the chain of command and result in the dedicated need for new leadership. So, after storming the ship, a splinter group of World Eaters attempted to do just that, cutting their way all the way through to the shrine, and one of the World Eaters raised his blade and cast it down on Kharn's body. And funnily enough, it didn't go well.
There was hot blood splattered upon Kharn's face, droplets on his cheek, brow, eyelids, and mouth. His lips parted ever so slightly, the movement imperceptible. A scarlet droplet touched his tongue. Lifeblood spilled in battle. Lifeblood spilled in battle. Lifeblood spilled in anger. Behind him, the World Eater drew the point of his gladius back, ready to deliver the killing blow. Kharn opened his eyes, and blood began to flow. It should have been a fatal stroke. There was no way that the veteran legionary could miss his target at such range. But then, this was Kharn.
Well, I'm a little confused here. Wasn't Kharn like dead? And they're going to kill him when he's already a dead body?
If you're beloved by Khorne, and you bring as many skulls to the throne as Kharn does, are you ever truly dead? Are you ever really gone? Or is there a little bit of lingering warp nonsense going on that means that there's a chance you could come back?
Oh, I guess, sure. It's just, this all happened. I was like, wait, did he kind of sort of survive-ish? Why are they going to stab the dead body? Like, what?
He's technically dead, but there's a lack of like decomposition and the like that would go with being dead. So there's a little bit of leeway where it's like, oh, he could be gone.
Got
or maybe there's just a tiny little bit that's still hanging on. And all he needs is a power-up in the form of some poor bastard's blood. And then he's up and running once again.
I mean, that is the most, like World Eater Khorne thing. That a little, like, he's just about dead. A little bit of blood gets on him, and he's just, I'm going to kill you.
Just a little blood.
It's like the dude got hit with, like a Narcan shot or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all this happening, within a matter of 30 seconds, Kharn just wipes out the room. The legionaries that are watching describe him as barely human. He was revived as an unblinking apex predator, completely lost to bloodlust and the nails. And initially, after being begged to lead the legion, Kharn said no. Stated that his desire was never to be in a diplomatic role. I can't imagine why that would be. All those years of dealing with Angron. But time was short, the World Eaters needed to unite, and in order to do so, a world was needed to call home. They did find a world known as Scalathrax that felt like a pretty great spot, all things considered, but the World Eaters weren't the only ones who had eyes for it. The Emperor's children also had a pretty strong desire for this planet, and there was an attempt at a ceasefire, but representatives of the Emperor's children met with Kharn to discuss terms, but they were a bit miffed from the get-go. They didn't really care for the fact that the Khornate forces were decked out in weapons, and one of the emissaries mocked the size of Kharn's axe. To make matters worse, a demon accompanied them who would not break contact, or break eye contact with Kharn. So, you've got a guy going, oh, what's with the axe? Are we compensating? Whilst a demon is eyeballing him constantly. Not a great combination for someone who has the butcher's nails implanted, heightened aggression and anger, and was recently basically dead until his own brothers tried to kill him. Once and for all.
Yeah, that seems like a recipe for everybody dying.
Yeah, pretty much. The demon told Kharn that he could see the threads of many different futures, some strong and definitive, and some that unravelled before him. But, regardless of the future, the demon called him by one name only, which was Betrayer. The meeting came to a relatively quick end after Kharn made it very clear to the emissary that their legions would never ally and never be friends. In a moment reminiscent, in a moment reminiscent to the below picture, the emissary says, "You would lead our legions to war, Equerry?" And I'm trying to. Oh no, I can't do it. Hang on.
Oh.
Uh-oh, are we getting an epic embed failure? Are we going to laugh at this user?
We're 100% getting an embed failure because I've got a picture in this script that I can't copy paste. It simply doesn't work.
No.
Oh,
Carry
no.
on. Oh. Yeah, just clip it. Print screen, man.
Print screen more often, man.
I know. It's bad, isn't it?
You know, I have a 70% keyboard. I don't have a print screen button. I have to use the actual like clipping tool.
It worked in the end.
The quote from Man Stabbed Me. Got it.
Yep.
I've never seen this one. I like it.
Quote from Man Stabbed. What are you going to do? Stab me?
Well,
the answer is yes.
I was watching Zodiac yesterday, and I was just like, it kind of made me think of this a little bit.
Like the Zodiac Killer documentary movie?
Yeah, the movie, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., and Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, that's not a terrible cast, actually.
Very good movie. Very good. David Fincher. Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Okay.
Kharn was in it, actually.
Now, if you think the reference to that screenshot is a joke, the final line of the meeting, as stated by Draeger, is as follows. Nothing unifies like a war, he breathed. Then everyone started shooting.
That's sick.
Sounds about right. That sounds 40K.
Yep. So, this is the point at which Kharn officially becomes the Betrayer. So, the world of Scalathrax is a world with a very difficult to maintain climate. So, the battles between the Emperor's Children and the World Eaters had to be put on temporary hold when night rolled round because it was deathly cold. Even though the Emperor's Children had the numbers, the World Eaters had more raw fury, and they were slowly picking away at their lines one by one. And it was inevitably going to be a big win for the World Eaters. But this whole, like, clocking out for half the day thing was not something that Kharn cared for. He did not like this. Victory was close, but it needed to happen much faster. The nails demanded more killing. So one night, retroactively called the Night of Madness by the World Eaters, Kharn decided to pick up a flamer and turned his legion into Khârn Asada.
God damn it, possum! God damn it, possum!
No, possum.
I don't understand the reference.
Carne asada. You know the food.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. So I had Mexican food in England, and it was so bad. Carne asada.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it was not good. Carne asada is a like a steak type thing. It's like a chopped up steak. It's very commonly used in
flame grilled, right?
Yeah. Carne asada is the Spanish pronunciation.
I see. Okay.
Yes, it is very good. It is phenomenal. Very common in. I think it's the main thing used in anything like California. Like if you have like a California burrito, for example, it's carne asada, avocado, things like that.
Yep, and French fries.
Okay.
Yeah, French fries in there for some reason.
But I shouldn't get it in my own country.
No, it sucked ass. Sorry. Listen, man. One day when Adric becomes the most popular podcast in the world, we'll fly you over here, and then you can have carne asada. And then we'll send you right back.
Yeah, just for that one meal, and then I'll go straight back home.
When we have our own studio building, right? Yeah, we'll fly you out.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, this is the part that I don't remember what Kharn episode we did before, but I was like, when is he going to get to the part with the flamers? When is he going to get to the part with the flamers?
Yeah, the flamers is the one I remember the most.
Yeah.
40K has really had a big impact on you, hasn't it, TK?
Sure has,
when's he going to start burning people? When's it going to happen?
The flamers, the heavy flamers, brother, please.
So yeah, Kharn picks up a flamer and then just goes through all the encampments, screaming, setting everything on fire, igniting all the huts and shelters that the World Eaters slept in, and destroyed their cover as a means to violently encourage the Legion to wake up and get right into battle. This resulted in a bunch of World Eaters burning to death, obviously, But it did also result in them rushing towards the sleeping Emperor's children, completely on fire, and anyone that attempted to stop him was torn in half, presumably whilst also being on fire. That's my guess anyway. So, due to Kharn just succumbing fully to the nails, and the extreme amount of blood in a short amount of time, blood spilled from both World Eaters and Emperor's children, the forces on the planet fell into a Khornate blood rage that resulted in the World Eaters on the planet tearing one another apart. This rage was so strong that it even impacted those nowhere near the flames. Those who had not fully succumbed to the blood rage fled to the planet to retain some semblance of a legion, but an incredible amount were lost either by the violence or by the horrible cold that they were experiencing. Because of that, the World Eaters were fragmented and scattered, destined to be a warband-based fragment of their former selves, and all of this was due to the actions of Kharn during one evening of blind madness, where the man once heralded as the potential saviour of his legion tore them apart from the inside out. Kharn had betrayed his legion, and his betrayal became synonymous with his name. Bad times. Bad times.
Nails emoji slay.
Yeah. Khorne must have been so proud, though. Like, he must have been just like a proud papa watching this. Like, just like a dribble of like molten lava tears coming down his face. Just like, that's my boy. That's my boy.
That's a question. That's a thought process I'm a little curious about. Like, would Khorne like that? Because, like, betrayal is not what I would call, like that's not a very Khorne thing. Murdering anybody is a Khorne thing, but betrayal is not a Khorne thing.
I guess that's kind of true, but like there's just so much bloodshed, and there's so much battle, and there's so much chaos, and there's so much other stuff that he is such a big fan of. I tend to think he'd be pretty happy about it.
I guess maybe it's a determination. Like, he's like, well, I'm not a big fan of the betraying part, but I do really like the wholesale murder part.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's just like the better of two evils, I guess.
Yeah. And like Shai said, betrayal wasn't the goal, right? He just wanted the fighting to start again.
It wasn't necessarily him going, I'm going to really screw over my guys. It was more just, they need to get out there and fight. Oh no, a bunch of them are burned to death. Well, that's a shame. Well, I mean, he didn't think that's a shame. He didn't think anything. But, I think probably intent matters to some extent. Maybe. Or Khorne just really likes Kharn, so he's like, well, it's not what I'd have done, but I'll let it slide for now because look at all this blood.
Yeah, look at what you did.
Betrayal is a very Zinchian thing, but maybe he's like, well, if you're betraying for the wholesale murder of everybody, then yeah, all right, that's fine. We can betray that way. It's cool.
I'll give you this one. Don't make a habit of it, but for this time, I'll let it slide. After all of that, Kharn is very active in the setting of today. Despite his unwillingness to unify the World Eaters, he has amassed a pretty large following for reasons unclear besides, mass killing. The Butcher Horde stalks through the galaxy, relentlessly killing anything in their wake. He, of course, was planet-side during the fall of Cadia and led a massive front against literally anything and everything in his path. More recently, though, Kharn has decided to raise the stakes of his kill count for Khorne and has been going after Imperial Saints directly. For example, he rushed to the planet of Sudreka, which was a victim of the Blackness, and was holding on by a thread anyways, because of the presence of Saint Celestine. He 1v1'd her, which ended up when he managed to rip her wings off and decapitate her. So, bad times for Celestine on that one. Then he made his way to the shrine world of Salandraxis to face Saint Lozapath, where he crushed him with a massive statue of the Emperor and ripped his head off. Big thing for taking the head off. Understandable. The whole skulls thing.
Yeah.
That is such good art. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's mad. I love it.
Also, man, they really up the scale of the chain axes in their art, don't they?
They get bigger. The chain axes and the helmets get bigger with every subsequent piece of World Eater art.
Like, I think I'm still too used to the size of them in Darktide, where they're literally just handheld because you're just, you're not a space marine in that game. And so I'm like, oh yeah, that's a chain axe. And it's like, no, that's a chain axe.
I can never not like this art because the full version of the art has just my two favorite things. Thing one, Angron in the back left.
That wasn't the full art.
Being enormous. And also Jeff from accounting, also known as Axie McAxeface on the left, with the giant axe just in the face. What is that creature? What is that cultist?
Right. I think I remember you showing me this picture, and you're like, oh yeah, that's Angron in the back. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's just smoke back there. You're like, no, idiot, look. And I was like, oh shit, that is Angron back there.
Yeah, that's Angron there. And like, what is up with Jeff from accounting? Like, it's just, there's no room for the internal organs in that face. It's just all axe.
It's all axe all the time.
God, that's such a good picture. Oh my God.
Axie McAxeface. Like, it's just so bizarre looking.
And it's not just the fact it's an axe. The scale of it, the size of it is insane compared to the size of the dude. It's just mad. What?
Man, you thought Khârn had a hard time getting through doors with his helmet, like
at
imagine that.
He can't walk through a single door. It's got to be a double door every time.
No, he's walking like Patrick when he has the board nailed to his head and he keeps running into the wall.
I've seen that one. I get your SpongeBob reference. I've seen that gif.
Oh, thank God.
It finally happened. Okay. Yeah. To finish off, we've got to talk about Kharn's armory. And when I say armory, I mean the one notable bit of war gear he has. Because let's face it, he's got most of his power armor. It's missing an arm because he wants to show off the incredibly ripped bicep. Mm-hmm. He's also got the helmet.
I thought it was going to be that joke. It's like, oh yeah, that one ripped arm. That's all he's got. That's all he needs. Armory.
That's all he needs. He's got the helmet. Obviously has to duck to go through doorways. Plasma pistol, classic. He used it to shoot Angron in the face, which is still one of my favourite things. But the main thing about Kharn when it comes to his weapons and his equipment in general is that he's a big fan of the usage of chain axes instead of chain swords. They're more archaic and difficult to handle, but Kharn's comfort level with them makes them essentially an extension of his own rage. Very early on in the Great Crusade, Kharn carried with him a chain axe called the Cutter, which, I mean, come on. Push the boat out name-wise. It's not the most inventive thing I've ever heard.
Nah, it's World Eaters. It's perfect. That's exactly
what it really is.
Mm-hmm. What does it do? Well, not much is known about that.
Let me show you.
Yeah, stand still. Not much is known about it other than the fact that it was ultimately replaced with his most well-known weapon, which is Gorechild. So Gorechild and its twin weapon Gorefather were wielded by Angron. Gorechild was nearly destroyed after Angron used it to dig his way out of a collapsed structure, and Kharn took it upon himself to preserve the weapon and rebuild it to its former glory. The engine on the axe is quote-unquote gore-fueled, and is oiled.
I'm sure it's some kind of like machine spirit type thing, you know?
Oh, yeah. Definitely, sure. And is oiled by the blood of those he kills. And the leather on the grip of the chain axe is leather made from the flayed skin of the cowardly.
Oh, cool.
Specifically the cowardly.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I vaguely remember something like, doesn't Angron think it's stupid that he, like, refurbished Gorechild or something? Like, he thinks, like, oh, that's a broken axe, you idiot. Don't use that. You're stupid or something like that.
There's a whole thing in Betrayer where it's
hold on, Kirioth. I want to guess on this one, because I actually had the same question, but I actually want to guess because I'm not 100% sure, and I want you to confirm it if possible. Isn't it like a thing where like once a weapon has been like used up and utilized, like it's in respect for the weapon to like put it aside?
Pretty much. It's effectively like a discarded weapon you shouldn't pick up and use again, it's done. Which is fine in principle, but I think it is in Betrayer. In practice, it's pointed out that if you get disarmed whilst fighting, do you punch your way out, or do you pick up a weapon and start hitting people with it? And of course, in practice, it's more likely you're going to pick up a sword and start stabbing, as opposed to going, well, I'm out. There's no free weapons here, because they've all been used. So, just, I'll go back, resupply, then come and carry on fighting. Like, it's kind of like an honor thing and a warrior's code thing, but not actually really all that practical for fighting. So as a practice, it's like, in theory, this is what we do. When it comes down to it, you're going to pick your blade back up and hope that it does the job, because it's that or die.
Nothing. Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, that is the man. That is Kharn, the man, the myth, the
betrayer,
raving lunatic, the betrayer. Yeah. I love him. He's great.
I love that on his helmet it's just xenomorph claw scars left by an unworthy and now deceased enemy. Love that you just make sure to point that a little bit out. So they're like, good. Oh yeah, there's some bitch xenomorph did this. It's dead now, but I guess it's still on my helmet. Let's point it out.
Yeah, that and the cornate fetishes of rage, the skulls of minor beings killed out of cruelty. Out of
cruelty.
Yeah, the descriptions on like the armor for like some of the chaos stuff is some of the funniest stuff, because it's trying so hard to be like, oh, it's chaos, but it's like it almost comes across as like just comical, and it's always fun to read those.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just so goofy.
It does also, as Shai says, it does also show there's a bit of like sentimentality there, where Kharn could have just got another chain axe and called it the Cutter 2 or whatever, but instead no, we've got to find Dad's chain axe, find all the teeth to it, and have it reforged and good as new. He didn't need to do that, but he did.
It shows that he is, like Shai said, he's a little more sentimental than he likes to put on. Yeah,
he's a lovely, complex character. Sometimes.
Sort of.
Sometimes.
We return back to the bell curve.
Yeah.
Wait, what's this? I hate his plasma pistol slander. I think his double barrel plasma pistol with warp fiend casing is badass. Wait, I think it's badass too. Who said this looks stupid?
It does look cool, actually, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair.
Usually the Chaos Space Marine weapons are a lot cooler, and they're just more weirdly designed than just,
Also, it's got the old school muzzle on it.
Oh, Kirioth, this is your fault, apparently. You said no one cares about anything but his axe. Which, okay, I get what you're saying, but the plasma pistol is cool. My only issue with it is that it's not named. If you literally have Kharn on the tabletop, he has Gorechild, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
For some reason, because there's also a gore other. There's so much gore. You've got Gorechild, his weapon, and then see. Okay. There's a little anger
what
here.
A cool mini.
It's Hatsune Miku. The nails are biting. Oh wow!
It is Hatsune Miku. I didn't even see that until you said it.
Getting a little pissed off here because in the Warhammer Index. In 10th edition, listen, I like my 10th edition. It plays well, but the flavor, they're killing it. We're losing it in the index, currently in the new codex. Kharn has plasma pistol and plasma pistol supercharge. That's hazardous. In the index, I'm pretty positive it was called Kharn's plasma pistol, which is also dumb because it should have a name, but it's like, it was Kharn's plasma pistol, not just plasma pistol, and it didn't have hazardous because it's him and he's that guy. And they removed made it a generic plasma pistol. And I'm a little pissed.
That is dumb. It shouldn't have hazardous. I mean, what could you call it? Angron's blindness? I don't know.
Angron's missing an eye.
What
Now-
what does having hazardous mean, by the way, for those of us
It
uninitiated?
can blow up in your face.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Khârn on the tabletop, I don't quite know how good he is or anything because of World Eaters, a new codex. But he's neat. The unit he's leading gets reroll hits of 1 and reroll wounds of 1. But the big thing is that at the he also revives if he dies because he's so tough.
Him.
But he's him. The Betrayer thing is at the end of the charge phase. If he's not within engagement range, so end of the charge phase. If he's not hitting something or in engagement range with someone, you have to take a leadership test, and if you fail the leadership test, one of your bodyguard models in your unit dies because he kills him, which is kind of fun, but I don't know, they could do a little better than that.
Yeah. I mean, it does suitably fit the way Kharn is portrayed, is like, oh, we need to start fighting, I will kill my own people type of thing. So it's kind of cool that it's, lore accurate.
Yeah, no, I mean that part's like fine, but I don't know if he's good or not or anything. But he's fine. I mean, at least he has Gorechild as the melee weapon, and it has 8 attacks, so that's funny. I like that.
Love it.
But,
Jesus.
but yeah, I'm getting a little. I'm wagging my finger at you, Games Workshop. I'm wagging my finger at you. You really need to.
Can you? This is only. It's related. It's Khorne related, so it's fine. Can you remember how many points the Lord of Skulls costs at the moment?
For CSM or for World Eaters?
For World Eaters.
505.
Lord of Skulls is the big tank thing with all the treads.
It's the really stupid one that I love. Because for a while there, that was 888 points, and I loved it. And it was bad, and no one used it. Because why would you? But
yeah,
points value was spot on.
The points values in 40k now are in decibels of 5, so they just don't do that anymore. But also 888 points is over a third of your army, and it's not good enough for that.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It was terrible. But it was a Lord of Skulls, it was Khorne, and it was 888. Hell yeah. That's true, yeah. He bodied Celestine, so he should be able to kill a 1v1 on the tabletop. Is it accurate?
Yeah, I mean, he could probably kill... Well, Kharn's weird. Celestine... Okay, here's the problem. Celestine...
Depends on the miracle dice.
Well, there's the miracle dice. Celestine also comes with 2 bodyguards. And Celestine is also like 200 points or something. And Kharn is 85. Sorry, Celestine is 160. And Kharn is 85 points. Granted, in melee combat, like if it's like, all right, Celestine versus Kharn, I think most likely Celestine, will most likely kill Kharn, or like there's a 50-50 chance of her killing Kharn, and then Kharn will kill Celestine like 3 times over. But in the world of 40k, or in the tabletop, it's who charges who first type shit, And then you have your bodyguard models in there, and then blah 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 blah. So
yeah.
We need a Mythbusters episode where it's classic engagements from the books, but using units from the tabletop. Who would win? And I bet most of them are inconclusive.
I mean, for the most part, I know Auspex Tactics does some stuff like that, but and the most part, it comes down to random weirdness.
Your dice rolls and yeah.
It's
Angron versus Titan. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Angron, Angron, besides like a Titan or something, or like Canis Rex or something, I'm pretty sure Angron by himself does the most damage of any singular model in the game. It's 8 attacks at strength 14, AP 3, D6 plus 2 damage with dev wounds, which is very...
as it should
very
be,
hard,
to be fair.
As it should be.
Yeah, it's Angron. Like he should be hitting like a truck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he tends to. I don't know. I'm the more I play Magic, the more I'm like, damn, the fluff and flavor that is available in Magic to do funny and weird things really needs to be attributed to 40k stuff. It really needs to be. I need to cut my hand, and for every drop of blood is every Khorne roll I get to have on the tabletop.
Oh wait, you want to go first edition AOS then? That's what you're after.
No, I'm after the ability to do weirder things. Like turning into a fluff enjoyer brick. I've always been a fluff enjoyer. I just like a functional game. The seventh was not functional. Seventh was fluff, but it was not function. Now the game is functioning, and now there's not enough fluff. There's a tug of war here. We need more.
Yeah, they need to find that perfect balance of having a functional game that still keeps some of the funny little fluff and the narrative stuff, right?
I've said it a million times. Chaos Space Marine Dark Packs, incredible, perfect, phenomenal rule. Custodians Martial Katas, dog shit, terrible, absolute worst thing I've ever seen in my life. We can do both, god damn it.
That's the campaign slogan. We can do both.
We can do both. When Magic has stupid things like roll a d20, you know 40K can do that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'll rant about it again some other day, but
And the butcher's nails quiet in Bricky's head.
and the butcher's nails relax. Good lord. All right, Kharn.
What a legend.
He's the guy.
I thought you were going to end the episode with just a very calm Kharn. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Hold on. Kharn. He's him.